The question is the wife also described by the moon in Gemini? So think about Gemini. Is she talkative? Can't get her to stop half the time. She does like to yak. And the moon in Gemini makes a salesman. So is she a salesman? She has actually, she has tried to make a go of a career in sales. Not working in a store, but she has friends who are interior designers and interior decorators, and she's done work for them at various times, decorating people's homes, finding the ideal ornament or the ideal colour scheme or wallpaper or fabric for that particular home. So this can be the Jupiter in Libra as well. But she does like to, she is a bit of a salesman or a saleswoman in her own right. And this sales type and talkativeness is a very obvious and strong characteristic. And so I think this is an indication that there is good evidence that the moon in Gemini also rules the 7th house, describing Bill's wife. And it's not just Jupiter in Libra. But the other thing, last point, though it may take a few minutes to go through, is one fact about the wife is that she was adopted. And also she didn't want to find out about and meet her birth mother. She had a brother who was adopted too, and the brother got in touch with the agency at a certain age and actually met his birth mother. But Bill's wife didn't want to go that route, and didn't really want to know anything about the parents. And so the reason I'm saying this is Bill's chart ought to show that something unusual about the wife, although or show that this would be the chart of somebody who married somebody who was adopted, so had no parents or was adopted one way or the other. And so it's not going to be a simple thing like, okay, Pisces cusp, Jupiter in Libra, the wife was adopted. It's not as simple as that. But we can examine this chart and see if we can figure out what would show that Bill would marry somebody who'd been adopted. We don't know in the beginning, I think, what we're going to find. So we just take a look at the different factors and see if we can make sense of them. So we're saying that the significator of the wife is Jupiter. Is there anything unusual or strange going on with Jupiter? He's in Libra, and Venus is in Scorpio, conjunct Neptune in Scorpio. And we might wonder if that confusion from Neptune and the Scorpio, secretiveness and privateness of Scorpio relates in some way. It does relate in some way to the wife, because the significators of Jupiter in Libra ruled by Neptune and Venus in Scorpio, and secretive Scorpio. So maybe that's something that we would consider. But maybe of more interest is the fact that Uranus is up here at 8 degrees of Leo. So there's a sextile from Jupiter, the significator, to Uranus that rules that which is unusual and unconventional. So maybe this is a contributing reason as well to the fact that there's something unusual or strange or different about the wife, the sextile here. There's also a sextile, if we notice, from Jupiter at 7 Libra to Saturn at 8 Sagittarius. There's another sextile there. And the fact that there's more, and I don't want to go to make it look as if I'm clutching at straws, but if you Jupiter, the midheaven 7 Gemini, 7 Sagittarius. So Jupiter at 7 Libra aspects the midheaven and aspects the 4th house cusp. And if you know about turning the chart, we can take Bill's natal chart and turn it upside down, and that describes the wife. So she would have Jupiter rising. The significator of the first is in the 8th, death and regeneration. And she would have the moon in the 3rd. She'd have Saturn in the 10th, and so on. And it's interesting, I think, that if you take Bill's chart and turn it upside down, the wife's parental houses, the 4th and the 10th, have 7 degrees on the cusp, and they make the aspect to this Jupiter, the significator of the wife. And the fact that Saturn's in the 10th, aspecting the Jupiter and aspecting the Uranus as well. So, I'm not trying to make this up. And I know that some people may think this is just too ridiculous, but looking at this chart, I think that knowing that the wife is adopted probably isn't going to jump out at us the first time we see the chart. But if you look at the significator of the 7th, the Jupiter, the aspect to Saturn and Uranus, the aspect to the midheaven and the 4th house cusp, I think we can get an idea that these would be the reasons why there would be something unusual about the wife, and why the wife's parents could figure in her life, even though she's adopted, or because she's adopted. And I think that the reason I wanted to go into this is because I think it's important to understand that astrology takes a long time to learn. The individual steps are easy. Pisces ruled by Jupiter, but or like Cancer decanate ruled by the Moon, which is in Gemini, ruled by Mercury, ruled by Saturn, and so on. But these individual steps are easy enough, but it's making sense of the whole thing that's hard. And so one approach, for instance, would be to get the charts of 5 people who have been adopted, or the charts of 5 people who married somebody who was adopted, and examine the natal chart of that individual and see what made it happen that they married somebody who'd been adopted. Then you do the same thing for 10 charts, and then 50 charts. And each time you're going to understand more, and you're going to get to the point where you begin to see quickly what's going on. So that's sort of it now. I hope this has been useful and helpful, even though I may have left you with more questions than answers. But we have to remember that questions are good. And all you have to do is ask the question and listen to your own thoughts, because you will give yourself answers. You will, if you pay attention to what you're thinking and follow through on the ideas that pop into your mind. And if you will give yourself answers, and this is more valuable, coming up with your own solutions, than having somebody else tell you an answer, no matter how complete it may be.